welcome back to the channel. If you are new around here, I'm Ammara and I'm a trainee counseling psychologist in London. I'm doing my doctorate in counseling psychology and psychotherapy from Middlesex University. So in this video, I will be sharing what it's really like to apply for the counseling psychology doctorate, and I will share from the written application to the interview process, and I will also talk you through some of the real questions that were asked from me and what the interview was like, and I will also share a few tips that might make your own application journey a bit smoother. So, if you ever wondered what it takes to get onto the course, or you are thinking about applying for yourself, then just grab a cup of tea and stay with me because I have got lots to share. So, I will start with a little background about myself. I actually started out studying economics back home, but when I moved to the UK, my degree was not directly recognized because it was a 2 year bachelor's degree. So I had to start again, and that's when I made a big decision to study psychology this time. So it is due to moving countries and adapting to a new culture, and that was not easy for me. I went through some really challenging experiences, including the times when I felt so emotionally tired, and I feel completely isolated, and I was unsure how to find support. And that's really what sparked my interest in human behavior, how people cope with change, loss, and emotional pain. So I did my BSc in psychology from University of West London. Then I went on to complete my master's in research in health and applied sciences from St. Mary University. And along that way, I also worked as learner support assistant in schools. I worked in different charities and NHS, helping students with autism and learning disabilities. And that all experiences taught me the importance of emotional understanding, that before any learning or progress can happen, people need to feel seen and supported. So, why did I choose counseling psychology and not something like clinical psychology or a PhD? And that was the very first question I was asked in my interview. Why counseling psychology, and why not in another route you want to choose, and why at the doctoral level? For me, the answer was quite naturally, as I would always been drawn to something more relational, more human centered, and I think counseling psychologist allows me to work therapeutically with people while also engaging in research and self-reflection. And I think it is a discipline that values both scientific understanding and personal meaning as well. And this is the balance between evidence-based practice and genuine human connection that really resonated with me. And I also completed my certificate course in therapeutic skill in the same institution. And I want to mention that is the requirement for the doctorate level as well. And by completing their certificate course, I understand their ethos, their emphasis on personal growth, self-awareness, and reflective practices. So that experience showed me that this field isn't just about helping others, it is also about understanding yourself in the process. And that exactly the kind of training I always wanted. And that is the training that challenges me academically while nurturing me as a person and as a future psychologist as well. Now, I want to clear up something that a lot of people asked me. what exactly is a professional doctorate and how it is different from PhD. So a PhD is mainly a research based degree. You are focusing on developing new theories, doing data analysis, and writing your thesis. It's very academic, and most of the time, you are not required to work directly with the people or in a clinical setting. While a professional doctorate, like the one I'm doing in counseling psychology, it is quite different. It combines the research and the clinical work as well. You are getting your clinical training as well. It means that while you are studying, you are also working with the clients on placements, attending your supervision sessions, engaging in your own personal therapy, and developing a research project at the same time. So you are not just learning about counseling, you are doing it, reflecting it, and also linking it as well with psychological theory and your research. So if you are interested in something important like that, be in mind that it is a very intense degree. So you have to balance academic work, your placements, your personal development all together. But honestly, it is one of the most rewarding experience you can have. You grow on so many levels professionally through your skills in practice, academically, through your research, and personally because you learn so much about yourself in that process. And it is a kind of training that changes not just how you think, but also how you see and how you relate to the people. So if you are a sort of a person who wants both the academic side and the hands-on experience of actually helping others, then a professional doctorate might be the perfect route for you. So let me walk you through what the application process is like, because it can be a bit of overwhelming at first. So for a joint doctorate program in counseling psychology and psychotherapy, and it's a program run by Middlesex University and Metanoia Institute. The online application process had three main parts. First, you have to submit a research proposal. Now you don't have to be panic about this. They are not expecting a fully formed PhD research proposal, and at this level, because they are not looking for a PhD person. It's really about showing that you understand research methods and that you can think critically about an area that interests you. For me, I wrote about my interest in how culture and emotional well-being intersect with each other, because that is something I have already explored in my MRES research project. The second, here's the personal statement. This is where you are telling your story, what led you here, what motivates you, and why this specific program you are applying for and why it is right for you. In mine, I talked about my academic background, my experience of working in schools as learner support assistant, in charities, in NHS, and how those experiences deepen my understanding of resilience and empathy. And I also mentioned what I have learned from doing my certificate in therapeutic skills, and why that approach to training really resonated with me. And the third one, you need to include something called service user involvement strategy. That basically means explaining how your research could make a real world impact, and how people you want to study or the communities you want to support might actually benefit from your work. So you are showing that your research is not just academic, but it is also useful and ethical at the same time. Altogether, these three pieces give the admission team a full picture of who you are, your academic ability, your self awareness, and your understanding of what it means to do research that genuinely help people. If you are preparing your application, so for my advice is to take your time with it, be clear, be personal, and make sure your genuine motivation comes through in your writing. Once my written application was accepted, I was invited to the interview, and honestly, was where everything became real. There were actually two parts to it, a group interview and an individual interview. I was first invited to the individual interview, which was more personal and in depth as well. And it lasted about 40 to 45 minutes. And they asked questions, a mix of reflective, academic, and practical questions. So, here are some real questions which I was asked. The first question was asked like why counseling psychology and why at doctoral level. And the second question which I remember is it was about attachment theory. Why? What is your understanding of the attachment theory, and how does it relate to therapeutic work? And one more question I remembered. Can you tell us about a time you failed or faced? And these questions were not designed to catch you out. They are there to help the interviewer understand how you think, how you reflect, and how self aware you are. So, when you are answering these questions, you have to be honest, clear, and authentic. You have to draw on your real experiences, but also keep your answer focused and professional at the same time. They want to see that how you can reflect on yourself, understand the demand of the doctoral level study, and how you handle challenges thoughtfully. It's really about showing that you are ready, not just academically, but emotionally and personally as well, for the kind of deep reflective training that this doctorate counseling psychology involves. Now let's talk about the group stage interview, because this part can feel a bit intimidating if you have never done one before. In my case, there were about 5 to 6 of us in the room. We were given a short case study, something like a student or a client that is struggling emotionally, and we were asked to discuss how we might approach it as a trainee counseling psychologist. Now, here is the key thing, that they are not looking for the person who talks the most or sound the most confident. What they really paying attention is to how you listen, how you reflect, and how you interact with the others. They want to see that you can think collaboratively, not competitively. So instead of jumping straight in with an answer, take a moment to pause, listen carefully to what others are saying, and then build on their ideas. You can use simple phrases like, I really like that point. I would add that we might also consider, or you can say, like, that's interesting. It makes me think about, or show that you are a very reflective person and you are able to work as a part of a team. They are also observing your awareness about your professional values, things like empathy, ethics, and inclusion. So you could mention safeguarding diversity and cultural context in your discussion as well, because this shows that you are thinking in a rounded person centered way. For example, you can say, I don't want to understand how this person's background or culture might be influenced, and how they are feeling or coping. And another big point, don't rush up to fix it. Don't try to fix the situation. You don't need to give a perfect solution. It's absolutely fine to hold some uncertainty. You might say, there are still things I would want to understand before forming any conclusions. If you go in with that mindset, to listen first, reflect thoughtfully, and collaborate with empathy, you will do brilliantly. So, when I look back on the process, the biggest thing I learned is that the interview isn't about having a perfect textbook answer, it is about being authentic. They are not trying to catch you out, they just want to see that how you are reflective, open, and emotionally aware, and that you understand yourself, your motivation, and for the kind of the work you will be doing as a future counseling psychologist. So when I finished my interview, I didn't walk away thinking, oh, I nailed every answer. I walked away feeling proud because I would be myself, genuine, thoughtful, and honest about my journey. All right, so if you are preparing to apply for doctorate in counseling psychology, here are my three tips that I hope will really help you. Tip number one, be authentic, not rehearsed. Don't memorize your answer from word to word. Speak from your experience. They can always tell when someone's being honest, and it will make such a big difference. And my tip number two, reflect deeply. Think about the moments that shape you, not just your achievements, but challenges and the lessons you have learned in your life. Show your emotional insight, because that's what this profession is all about. And my tip number three, know the course. Do your research on the university you are applying. Understand their relational and their integrative approaches, and explain why it fits with you. That really show your commitment and your understanding of what you are signing up for. So these are my three top tips to be successful in the application process. So that's my journey as an applicant of doctorate in counseling psychology and psychotherapy. And if you are applying, just trust yourself. Your story, your reflection, and your honesty are your biggest strength. And thank you so much for watching this. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, leave your comment in the comment sections. And if you have anything you want to ask, or you want me to make a video on it, please tell me. And subscribe if you would like to. Follow my journey through the doctorate. Take care of yourself, and good luck for your interview.